What's going on? We're back with another one. This one is from the selection list from earlier this year. We're knocking out the U6 part of it. Later we're gonna do U11 and Videl, but exploring U6 right now. And here's a few different leaders and lists that I want to try out and just kind of perfect the build. This one I want to keep it to its basic unit, primary atoms, just to construct the best playlines and routes to go and how this deck is meant to be played. With this one, he has a draw 2 on the front side and draw 1 on the back side. How you awaken is basically having the unison flip over, or you can just do it the old fashioned way, which is having 4 life. But essentially, you want to play U6 on your opponent's turn. That's how you get your value out of this leader after you awaken. And he has a few other cool tricks that help you build up Z energy, but we'll get to that when we explain the deck. But I'm just gonna let you see the whole thing just for my in and outers. This the list. I built this in 3 facets. Blue is, how should I say, the most person friendly type of color, and at the same time it has levels to it where it almost feels unbeatable once you truly understand your deck. With this one, I made this hyper consistent. A third of my deck, or my starters, for instance, search out all of my deck. These are the starting pieces I chose. Some search out 5 or less, some search out 4 or less, and others search out any blue or yellow U6. I want to consistently search my pieces and do my plays. Also got some draw power as well, and also further searching. This kind of like has dual utility, and this is just the recovery piece. I want to use some U6 in my drop. But this deck got new life when he came out. He is like the new pseudo engine that makes turn 2 or turn 3 awaken more consistent, and also has other utilities and utilizing cards that usually cost a lot of energy. And we built this deck on the principle of 1. You mitigating, for each instance you're mitigating 1 energy, and that's the whole concept of the deck. Never generally use like 2 to 3 energy at a time, and you pick and choose your battles on how you want to spend your energy, and that's essentially the roadmap of the deck. Like you seen before, this gets out our battle manipulator for 1 energy, which we can awaken on turn 2, which lets us keep both of our energies to do whatever you want. But most of the time, due to our leader, we want to play the game on our opponent's turn. Essentially, my turn is my turn and your turn is our turn. So usually playing out cards like this, which can stop attacks and also be pressure on the following turn, as well as we have some defense, because like the other third of our deck is U6 package, which goes into our rivals. Is hit, which is a blocker. We play a lot of blockers in here, which is very important with how our negates work. And we got some removals in our arrival, so it's dual utility. While I'm attacking, I am diminishing my opponent's board. And this is just a easy charge, searchable. Generally, you want to have a yellow and the rest blue, or a yellow blue, a yellow and the rest blue. But you don't really have to charge to 1,000,000,000 in this deck. I like 3 or 4 energies usually get you there. Our last U6 card is the Kefla. Usually this gets rid of most of things in your rest mode without barrier, but this paired with our next card usually clears any problem we may have that's coming at us defensively. While we're on the defense, I mean. That's kind of like one of the best 1-2 packages blue has in a nutshell when it goes against big threats. Like I said before, a third of our deck is searching the other third of our deck, so we're running this for those cards that can't be searched throughout the engine, which this lets me look at the top and pick out a battle card off the top 3, which we normally pick in our other super combo choices, which is the Zamasu, which helps us defensively, the Zeno, which we need to extend on our opponent's turn, and our Goku, which helps us set up in the mid to early game. It's kind of like a mid-rangey deck, but if you want to go super aggro, you can. Our SDR of choice is we're playing the Spice with him. He has an Aegis ability, which Aegis is not really thoroughly explained here, but Aegis is when you discard a blue or a yellow, or a blue-yellow card, and you get 2 energy back. But with his special ability, you can make your opponent lose their card in their hand and get your energy back. That's why he's so powerful, and he's pretty hard to be removed. Red has to do a couple of things, but you kind of interact too much to let that happen. You know? Our extra card package is late because we prioritize our combo efficiency with this deck. That's why you don't see a lot of 10Ks in here and extra cards. But our main man, Sensu Bean, I wanted to keep this at 4, but man, the 50 card deck is calling me, because I like optimal consistencies when I'm thoroughly testing, and given certain matchups, you can bump it up like mill and stuff, but trust me, you don't need it. And the best negate in the game is determination, because this was what Violent Rage used to be until it got nerfed. But I would say this is slightly better in the sense that it also has another active battle ability, which you get 1000k pump up or 10k pump up, and you switch energy to active mode, which combos with our SCR of choice. But there's a variety of XCRs you can use for this deck, like Radiant Sands, Hatch, even the black SCRs like Pan and such. But those are my top recommendations for that. Z deck is pretty standard, but we're going to go into the new cards. I say I like to pop this off like around turn 3 when I'm going through my Awaken chain, so I can go into my Awaken and then go into my Z leader all on my opponent's turn to get the max value, which you get 3 draws in that defensive turn, and you get to play a couple of your U6 on your opponent's turn, which essentially you building your board on your opponent's turn by being very efficient with your energy and your setups. For most of the part, you want to combo uh, blue yellow card, so you can arrival into these or your 7-drop here, which allows you to draw a card. I kept it focused on these. I'm not really running the other. If you have a multicolor in your energy, plus 5k multicolor combo, I wanted to make this very tight and very fluid because I wanted to keep the tech and staple options to the minimum, so I can just properly go through my plays without being too kind of cluttered with confliction between the air quotes staple, because I just want to play the game and I wanted to do it in the most fluid and consistent way possible, which I have enough of it but not too much, if you understand what I'm saying. Because that's why I kind of have it in like a 3-3-3 split, like a third is starters, a third is engine, and a third is kind of like the staple support cards. But that's how I chose to do this build. The only other notable ones out of the deck that you primarily use is this hit, which when you swing you get the combo and set up your arrivals when you swing or blocks, and it has the flex so you can't interrupt it from coming into the field, and you can pressure with this and it stands itself back up. And the rest of the Z deck is pretty much utility. I'll have this list in the description below, and my side deck is pretty much standard. You got your Desperate Measures, your Golden Avengers for those grinding matchups against like blue, yellow, and maybe green. Prospects, Nimbus, Koiskai, and this one that not many people run in it, but I got it in here for a mill and how it's designed because it puts cards back into my deck and just lets me do what I need to do with ease. But a lot of ways you can play this deck depending on your matchup, but generally you want to play it on your opponent's turn until you get to like your turn 4, 5, 6, which you can just be super aggressive and whatnot. But that's what I have. Any questions? I tried to keep it super simple and conform as possible. Let me know your thoughts and your take on Cabba or how you might be building it. I just want to keep this simple and nice and easy for anybody trying to pick this up, and so they can learn the very unique play patterns and play routes of what this deck is meant to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Got 2 more U6 to go.